And of course, the 5 elements also live within you. How are you collaborating with the earth element within you, the water element within you, the fire element, the air element, and the ether element, representing space, the lightest of all of the elements. The 5 elements correspond to the 5 chakras, and the 5 senses correspond to the 5 elements and the 5 chakras. With the first chakra, we have the element of earth, and the sense is smell. Like when you would smell the soil, you smell the earth. The second chakra, the element is water, and the sense is taste, like tasting the sweetness in water. The third element is fire, and the sense is sight. A fire brings light from which we can see. The fourth element is air, and the sense is sound, the air through which sound is traveling. And the fifth element is ether, or space, and the sense is touch, as when you feel the outer body meeting the so-called external world. The skin being what I sometimes call this illusory boundary between you and the cosmos. So just reflecting how you've been collaborating with the 5 elements and your 5 senses. And then let your attention kind of encompass the surround experience on our planet. What is happening with the 5 elements? And how does humanity seem to be smelling, tasting, seeing, hearing, touching? And how could we, individually, how could we improve? Earlier this week, somebody asked me a question by email. Actually, they asked it quite a few weeks back, and I have difficulty with my email because of my brain injury. And so I was responding to this question on Monday. And this person's question was about the heart and having sort of symptoms in the heart, where to address it. And I was responding by saying we do go down to the first 3 chakras. The same is true if we have symptoms in the throat, or if we have these symptoms with the 6th chakra, with our capacity to see clearly, like our capacity to see clearly the climate dilemma, not just the COVID pandemic, but also beyond that. We still have some strength we can gather from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd chakra for these upper chakras when the symptoms arise there. So in the spirit of that, start the Ujjayi sound that connects you from the base upwards to the crown of your skull. Sometimes my teacher, Deo Brat, he likes to say, like a thermometer. which means you're watching the breath rise up through the chakras like a thermometer. And so if you sense there's a place where the breath goes deeply down to, or a place where it can't, or there's a place where the breath rises up to, or a place where it can't, then you're getting this really important biofeedback. And we'll have a second glimpse at biofeedback. Bring your hands to the first chakra mudra. And we'll chant the sound of Lam. And we'll go up the chakras, visiting each one for one repetition of the 5 sounds. Lam, 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 Lam. Second. Wam, 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 wam. Third. Ram, 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 ram. Fourth. Yum, 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 yum. Fifth, excuse me. The word is hum. Hum, 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 hum. And the sixth, the word is om. Om. Om, 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 om. Please bring your palms together at your heart. And we'll chant in call and response. I'll sing both parts twice. Guru Brahma, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Guru Devo, Maheshvara, Maheshvara, Guru Rashaksha, Guru Rashaksha, Arara Brahma, Arara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. May the inner teacher that moves us from darkness to light, that is creating, sustaining, and dissolving, may that teacher bring us back home. Tasmai Shri Gurudev Namaha. May we also know that it's beyond us. It is not about us. It includes us, but it cannot contain us, and we cannot contain it. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. You may bow your head to your heart. Releasing your hands, please sit upright and then clasp the hands, push down, lift the base of your skull so you have the Jalandhar Bandha head position. And then inhale, press your arms forward. As you're rising up, follow your knuckles and gaze up. Now exhale, push out and gaze to your right. Interlace your fingers, bring your head to center. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, press out, gaze to your left. Follow your fingers as you come back to center. Inhale, gazing up. So it's all our responsibility, in other words, in the chant. Exhale, push out, and it's going to be beyond us. We have to work together. Once more, interlace your fingers, raise up. And exhale, push out. So you can sense this encompassing energy. Reach back and interlace your fingers when you get to the bottom of the exhale. Roll your shoulders back. Rise up with your in-breath. Exhale, squeeze your arms back, but bring your chin down and in towards your throat. Inhale to go up again, squeeze the shoulders back, open your heart, your throat, and your gaze. Exhale, bring your chin down, sweep your arms back as you squeeze the shoulders, arms, wrists, and fingers. And then release your hands to your knees. Let them spring back to the knees. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Turn your palms face out. Inhale, rise up with both arms. Exhale, side bend to your right. Gaze down. Exhale, open your left arm like we did yesterday. Inhale, raise your left arm, palm to the sky, and then palm overhead facing the floor. Exhale, pull up with both arms as you can, using the left low belly to rise. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to your left. Place your left palm down. Reach your right arm past your right ear. Inhale to gaze down. Exhale, open your right arm. Keep gazing down. Inhale, raise your right arm. Reach past your ear. Exhale, rise up. Inhale, reach up and gaze up. And then exhale, push out, wide and down. Please cross your left hand to your right knee, twist to your right. Gaze over your right shoulder with your inhale. Exhale, gaze left. Inhale, gaze right. Exhale, gaze left. Once more, inhale, gaze right. And exhale, gaze left. Let's come to center. Cross your right hand over your left knee. Twist to your left. Inhale, gaze over your left shoulder. Exhale, gaze right. Inhale, left. Follow the pace and the smoothness of the breath. Keep the smoothness of the Ujjayi breath within your reach, so you're not in any way pressuring yourself to go deeper, faster, or stronger. Actually, becoming more subtle is highly recommended. Release to center. And bring your awareness down to the third and the second chakra. This is for bhastrika. Let's begin. Inhale to suspend. Exhale slowly and completely. Rest your attention in your plumb line. Repeating bhastrika. Inhale to suspend. Exhale completely and smoothly. Now focus your attention primarily at the third chakra. This is kapalabhati. Exhale. Inhale, lower, middle, upper to suspend. Exhale completely and slowly. Rest in your plumb line. Awareness at the third chakra. Kapalabhati. Exhale completely. Inhale to suspension. Awareness at the fourth chakra. Exhale smoothly and completely. Now we're going to practice nadi shodhana with inhale suspension, where you make an upside down triangle. So the inhale left nostril, suspend, exhale right nostril, inhale right, suspend, exhale left. They're all equal. When you're breathing, you're going to just use one side of the nose at a time. During the inhale suspension, I'd like you to consider the fourth and the fifth chakra. In the movement of the breath, when you feel the air passing through here, consider the sixth chakra. Okay, let's begin. You may complete with your next exhale through the left nostril. And then again, sit in your plumb line. Okay, let's rise up to standing, please. Come up into Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide leg forward bend. And you can place your feet so they're also making an equilateral triangle, just like the pranayama was a moment ago. And when you have that triangle, go ahead and come forward. Reach around to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Roll your shoulders back. Open the chest and the heart. And then as you inhale, glide forward like yesterday. We come just about halfway up. Glide forward and look forward. And then exhale to slowly bow towards the legs. Keep your feet toned, the inner arches lifted, inner thighs toned, and bow down towards the floor. And then glide with your inhale again. That is scented as a vertebrae to vertebrae process, rising up through the line of the chakras. And then on the exhale, also rising up first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Complete the exhale, reach to the crown of your skull. Twice more, please. And then release your hands to your hips and rise up to standing. Root down into your heels and toes. Rise up and let's go heel toe to center. Come to mountain pose. Let me change the angle of my camera. Okay, in mountain pose, place the feet so they're hip distance apart and parallel. Let's do the hips just over the plumb line of the heels. Lift up through your heart. And then reach back to interlace your fingers. Squeeze the shoulders back. And notice what happens in your mountain pose if you keep the heels grounded, but drift your hips forward in line with your toes. And then go up from there into a little standing back bend. The hips don't have to come any further forward, even than the center of the foot, right? Perhaps the center of the foot, perhaps the toes. Rise up. Open the throat and your gaze. And then bring your hips back in line with your heels and bow forward to Uttanasana. Come down and squeeze the upper back and the shoulders. And then glide your heart forward and rise back up to the standing back bend. Come up slowly. So the heart rises, take your tailbone down, bring the tailbone forward so the hips come a little bit forward, not past the toes. And exhale, release your hands and just rest in mountain pose. Let the hips move back in line with your heels. Let's take yesterday's surya namaskar. So we're going to place the 2 blankets, and I know that makes a hurdle. It also changes what your Anjane asana feels like. I hope gives you a little bit more opening in the hip flexors. You can have, of course, some awareness of what it takes to step over the blanket in both directions. Let me just tie my hair back, please. Sometimes my hair is dry this morning. Yesterday it was wet, so sometimes it's nice to keep it down for those of you who do this. It keeps your head warm, your neck warm, but I'm going to tie it back for sun salutation. Step to the front of your yoga mat, facing to the east if you can. And join your hands together. So using the Ujjayi breath, we're going to include some back bending in this sun salutation. So let's inhale the hands down, wide and up. Rise up to your tiptoes and look up. Now, staying upright, exhale, lower your heels. And then inhale to a standing back bend. Open the arms like the letter Y. Exhale, reach back up to your plumb line. Inhale, sit down to chair pose. And exhale, bow down over your legs, come into Uttanasana. Press through your heels to straighten the legs, whatever your practice is there. And then inhale, glide forward and look forward. Exhale, left foot back and left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjane Asana. And exhale like a back bend with a letter Y. Open the arms, reach your thumbs back towards the wall behind you. And then exhale, arms wide as you throw over your right leg. Touch the 2 blocks with your fingertips. And let's inhale, straighten both legs. Like we did yesterday. Reach back with your hips and forward with your heart. And then exhale for a deep bow over your right leg. Inhale, glide forward with your right knee until it's balanced over your left knee. And then exhale, glide your left knee down. So your right knee is going to come just over the toes of your right foot. And let's rise up again. Exhale, open like the letter Y. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, curl over. Touch the 2 blocks with your fingers and thumbs. Inhale, straighten both legs. Reach your hips back. Exhale, bow over your right thigh. Inhale, bend your right knee. You're coming to the basic lunge. And exhale, touch the left knee down so your right knee is forward in line with your toes. And again, inhale, rise up. Exhale. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, pull over your right leg and touch the block. One more time, inhale to straighten both legs. And this time, exhale, step backwards to plank pose. You have to go over your blanket hurdle to get there. You inhale, downward dog pose. And exhale, left foot forward over the blanket hurdle. Touch your right knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjane Asana. Open like the letter Y. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, glide forward, touch the block. Inhale, hips back. Straighten both legs. Press into your left heel and toes. And exhale to bow over your left. Inhale, bend your left knee. Let the spine glide forward to your base of body. Exhale, right knee down. So your left knee is going to be over the line of your toes. Inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, the arms like the letter Y. And inhale, slow and steady. Exhale, curl over. Inhale, straighten your right leg, your left leg. Bow over your left thigh. As you exhale, remember to move the breath slowly, consistently, maybe the same quantity, but a slower pace. Inhale, glide forward. And last time, exhale, bend your right knee to the blanket, left knee over your toes. Wait for your in-breath. One more inhale. Exhale. Straighten both legs with the in-breath. Prepare your hands for plank pose. And exhale, step over your blankets. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And exhale, glide forward to plank. Your gaze is going to be down between your thumbs. And inhale to seal pose. Exhale, table pose. Inhale, plank pose. Only the shins remain, right? So your table pose is elevated because of the blankets. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank pose. Gaze between your thumbs. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, table pose. Notice the second and fifth chakra. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. We're going to do this one more time. So inhale to plank. Exhale, cow pose. Notice the chest and heart. And then inhale to seal pose. And the chest and heart are already established. Exhale, table. And this time, inhale, cat pose. On the way back to child's pose, exhale completely. Inhale, undulate forward to cow pose. The chest and heart are established already for seal pose. And glide forward, seal pose. Lift up. Table pose. Then inhale to cat pose, backing up towards child's pose for the exhale. One more time. Inhale, undulate forward between the cat on your way to cow. Exhale, hips forward to seal pose. Be deliberate. And then inhale to lift up and look. exhale, table pose. And inhale, cat pose on your way back to the exhale for child's pose. And then walk your hands back to your knees and come to this Vajrasana where the knees are elevated. Okay, so with the knees elevated, hopefully it's comfortable for your knees and the tops of your feet. I know for some of you, if this is not a preferred position. So what you could do is you can have a rolled extra blanket under the tops of the feet if the tops of the feet don't point as well as this requires, or you could do this in a chair, one chair and then the second chair in front. So we're going to come forward with the hands behind the small of the back. Check something out for yourself when you come forward. What kind of support are you going to need for your head? And then place that support there. Clasp the hands. So the knees being higher than the feet, your hips are lower than your heart and more likely to drop down towards your heels. So your position now is maybe a more snug child's pose. The knees can be wider than your torso as necessary. And with the head supported and the hands clasped, raise the shoulders back, shoulder blades in towards the spine. Do your best to lift your arms from the small of your back upwards. If it feels impossible because of the shoulders or the thoracic spine, hold a strap or make a loop in the strap for your wrists. Clasping the hands does make it more difficult. Squeeze the shoulders up away from the floor and down away from the base of the skull. And then with your inhale, start to lift the base of your skull, begin to gaze forward, roll up, release. Notice the arms. Yeah. And now let's put the blankets. We're going to make it more level ground. I want you to have some padding. Maybe I'm going on my own bias because it's a very firm deck with just a skinny yoga mat, little thin yoga mat. So in this case, we're going to enter back into the sun salutation, and we're going to be able to include Salambasana. That is one reason that we're putting the blanket down, because you'll be on the abdomen. Okay, so please find your way back to the top of your yoga mat. Bring your hands down to the tailbone. So once again, you have that plumb line where your hips are in line with the center of the heels. And then when we inhale, we're going to tippy toe to go up. The hips can come forward over the toes. Exhale, lower your heels down, keep the hips where they are. And then inhale to a standing back bend. Exhale, come right. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, Uttanasana. Of course, use your blocks as needed. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, take the left toes back and your left knee down. Inhale, rise to Anjaneyasana. Exhale, open the arms wide, and as you stay in Anjaneyasana, reach back to interlace the fingers, and inhale to go up. Open your throat and your gaze. Exhale, release. Bring your hands down to the floor near to your right toes. Tuck the left toes under and straighten both legs. Exhale, bend your right knee to the base of the lunge. And inhale, step back to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Come onto your stomach. Reach back to clasp the hands and inhale, rise up, salambasana. Exhale, lower down to pranam. You just bow the head to the floor for a moment. And then inhale back up, salambasana. Exhale, glide down. And one more time, inhale to go up. And exhale to lower. Place your hands beneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under. Straighten the legs if you can. And then inhale directly up to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale smoothly. Exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands and touch your right knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjane Asana. With the exhale, open the arms wide and reach down to interlace your fingers. Roll open through your Anjane Asana. Then exhale to release. Curl the right toes under. Please straighten both legs with your in-breath. And then exhale, bend your left knee in preparation for stepping forward. Inhale, float your right foot up to meet your left foot. And exhale to bow deeply towards the legs. Okay, let's inhale, rise up, root your heels down, tailbone down, raise your arms up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. In mountain pose, you can just have like a gentle bow of the head towards the heart. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namo. Okay, now we have an exciting moment here. Let's take the blanket off of the mat. Also, no hair clips are recommended. Please fold these two blankets like this. So it's sort of called the new storage fold, right, since COVID-19. And then bring your chair onto your mat. This pose is contraindicated if you have your menstrual cycle. In which case, I would recommend that you're doing Supta Baddha now. Yeah, so take out hair clips because they are painful when it comes down to it. Okay, I'm going to want you to have two blocks, two blankets, and your chair. And the two blocks are going to go where you can reach them with your hands. At first, it's awkward, and it's beneficial. So when you come down, I'd like your shoulders to be on these two blankets. The way that I get into this position, I was just teaching my friend up at Brighton Bush, Peter Moore, how to do legs at the wall pose. Even that can be difficult to get into the first couple times. So what I do here is I put my shoulders at the edge of the blankets, and I know when I first lie down, it's going to feel like I said, awkward. But I want the edge of the shoulder at the edge of the blanket. Then you pick up the hips and put the 2 blocks there. And yes, I'm very close to my chair because I want to be able to reach the chair with my hands. And so right now, the butt is under the lip of the chair here. I have a long torso and short arms, so even if you're taller than me, your situation may not look like mine, might not look directly like mine. Okay, so tuck the shoulders under, and if you can, please do hold the legs of the chair. And then you have to sneak the butt out from underneath the lip of the chair, tuck the shoulders under again, and you're up in a well-supported bridge pose, shoulder stand sort of combination. I definitely want your shoulders to be on the blankets and not beyond the edge of the blankets. And because your feet are holding the chair down, your hands could have kind of a firm foundation to hold onto. So puff the chest up and gaze in towards your heart. Of course, for anyone struggling with the yoga props, bridge pose is a beautiful and suitable yoga pose just as it is. This elevated version of the pose is preparation for things like shoulder stand. Press both shoulders down evenly and both feet firmly against the chair. Keep the strength of your limbs, I could just say it that way, and the smoothness of the breath. And then begin to bring your hips down. They might have to go under the lip of the chair onto your 2 blocks. Okay. Take your arms overhead. I just moved my hair out of the way. So the arms can go overhead, and now you just tip the very first part of the shoulders goes off the edge of the blanket. And we hope that you pause on sliding backwards so that the blankets are, let's say, if you have your arms overhead, the blankets are in line with the armpits. Your throat's a little bit more open than it was in the shoulder stand. The sort of bridge pose, shoulder stand combination. Okay, and then keep sliding backwards, hopefully smoothly. Do not dismantle your blankets. Scooch the blankets to go under your sacrum and place your blocks can go aside. Place your chins up on the chair seat. And come to your shavasana. So you're having a little inversion of shavasana today. What that means is that your body will experience that shoulder stand bridge pose combination. It'll experience it as a continued inversion with your legs elevated on the chair seat. And please come to rest. You can have a half smile in your resting. So we said, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. May we respect the principles of that which moves us from darkness to light, that which creates, sustains, and dissolves. Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Recognizing the indwelling guru principle, that energy is bigger than we are. The teacher is sometimes bigger than we are. We don't always plan the life events that are our teachers. But may these teachers help us to go beyond ourselves, not to be limited to the ideas of ourselves. Allow your mind to rest deeply within your body. All of the elements and all of the senses are there. The medicine of your practice is in there. So again, keep your mind and your body very restful. Consider for a few moments the kind of nourishment you would need at each of the chakras. Sense of grounding at the root, flexibility at the second, say determination at the third, compassion at the fourth, truthfulness at the fifth, clarity of sight at the sixth, communion at the seventh. And bringing some of those qualities into your day. Let's now gently wiggle your toes, please, and your fingers. Slide your knees towards your chest. And return to your right side and then back up to sitting. Take the hands out to the first chakra. One long sound for each. Let's inhale Ujjayi. Lam. Second. Wam. Third. Ram. Fourth. Yam. Fifth. Hum. Coming up for Brahmari. 3 times. And rest your hands in your lap. And join your hands together at your heart. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parara Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namah Hari. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.